Before I tell you what happened, I need you to do one thing. Subscribe. Not because I care about numbers, but because you'll want to hear this to the very end. Some things, once you hear them, you can't unhear. Some things might already be looking at you. It started with a face. At first I thought I knew him, but the next moment I realized I didn't. And then I saw it again on someone else, a woman, a stranger, but the eyes, they were the same. That's when I knew it was following me, watching me, and I had no idea who it really was. I was always a careful person. I lived alone in a small apartment in the city, my life quiet and predictable. I worked during the day, came home to the silence of my own space at night. But then the faces started. At first, it was small things. People on the bus would turn their heads, and for a moment, I'd swear it was my neighbor, Mr. Clark, who lived 2 floors below. I shook my head and laughed nervously. It couldn't be. But then in the grocery store, I saw Mrs. Henderson, my old teacher. She smiled at me, but it wasn't really her. The way she looked at me, like she knew things no one else should, it made my stomach twist. I tried to ignore it, thinking maybe I was just tired, seeing shadows in the wrong places. But every face became familiar, every stranger somehow connected to me. Friends I had lost contact with years ago, strangers I had never met, all of them staring at me with the same eyes, whispering the same words I couldn't hear but somehow understood. I started noticing things in my apartment. Objects moved. Chairs shifted slightly. The mirror showed someone else sometimes, someone standing behind me when I was sure I was alone. My heart would race, but when I turned, nothing was there. Then came the whispers. Quiet, almost inaudible, yet unmistakable. They weren't always in words, but thoughts, feelings. I could feel them, pressure at the back of my mind, pushing me, shaping me, making me doubt what was real. I finally went to see a doctor. I explained everything, the faces, the mirrors, the whispers. She frowned, taking notes carefully, and then said something I could hardly believe. "You may have Fregoli delusion," she said. "It's rare. It's frightening. You believe people around you are all the same person, changing faces to follow you." I nodded, but deep down I knew it wasn't just a delusion. I felt it in my bones, in the cold draft that swept past me when I was alone. One evening, I came home to my apartment, the lights flickering. And there, standing in the kitchen, smiling at me, was Mr. Clark, or was it Mrs. Henderson, or someone else? The face shifted, morphing in front of my eyes. A hand reached out and I fell back, screaming. I ran through my apartment, trying doors, windows, every exit, but every time I looked back, that same face was there, sometimes behind me, sometimes across the street, always watching. I stopped going out. I stopped answering calls. My world shrank to the walls of my apartment. But even there it followed. Reflected in the TV screen, in the glass of water, in the polished silver spoon on my counter. The face changed, the voice whispered, and I realized it wasn't just one person. It was everyone. Everyone I had ever known or thought I had. Sleep became impossible. Every shadow moved. Every sound was a signal. My mind frayed and the line between reality and hallucination disappeared. One night, I woke up to the sound of whispering directly in my ear. "You can't hide." I got up, shaking, and looked around. The apartment was empty. But on the wall, written in condensation from the shower steam, were the words, "We are here." And that's when I knew there is no safety. Not in your apartment, not on the street, not in your own mind. They are always there. They have always been there. And if you look too closely, you'll see everyone is them. The neighbors, the people walking past, the cashier in the corner store, even the mailman, all the same face, watching, waiting. My phone rang. I almost dropped it. When I answered, no one spoke, just breathing, heavy, slow, and deliberate. Then a voice whispered, "You can't escape." The line went dead. I locked all my doors, but it didn't matter. I could hear footsteps, soft, pacing, circling. Windows rattled as if someone pressed their hands against them from the outside. Mirrors in my home, impossible reflections. Sometimes I saw myself with eyes that weren't mine, with a smile that wasn't mine. Sometimes I saw another face entirely, watching, judging, knowing every thought before I thought it. I started leaving notes for myself, reminders. It's not real. It's not real. But the notes changed when I wasn't looking. Words smeared, faces drawn in the margins. Once a note read, "You see us now." I burned the notes. The paper smoked, curling, and in the smoke I thought I saw eyes staring back. My dreams turned into a nightmare that never ended. I would wake up screaming only to find someone or something sitting at the foot of my bed. Faces changing, morphing, shifting. A hand reaching but never touching. A whisper in the darkness, always the same. "We are everyone. You are nothing." I could feel it creeping into my mind, taking over memories. Friends I remembered, maybe they were them. Family, maybe they were them. Myself, maybe I was already gone. Days passed. Nights were longer. I could hear the voices when I closed my eyes. I tried to escape. Packed a bag, left the apartment, ran into the streets. But every street, every face, every shadow the same, following, watching. I realized then there is no outside. There is no escape. The Fregoli delusion isn't just in your mind. Sometimes it is real. Sometimes the faces really are the same, changing, watching, waiting. I write this now because if you hear this, if you read this, it is already too late. They are looking at you. They are everyone you know. And if you think you are alone, you are not. And even now I feel them behind me, breathing close, whispering, "We are here."